Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and try and create something that I see a lot on videos, right? So I wanted to just kind of sit here and talk about uh, pretty much what's going on and kind of things just what I want to talk about. So one of the things that I want to talk about are like the skits that I want to be trying to do. So all the skits that I want to try and do are like just very simple, very short. Like one is where I have a guy named John, right? Another guy named Dean. Well, Dean is more like a type of butler. Um, he's just somebody that is there taking care of this guy. At the end of the skit, it comes out that where, and it's not very long. It's just about maybe I would say about maybe 10, 15 seconds, maybe. If that. Excuse me. But it's about 10, 15 seconds. And it's just something very short. It's something that I'm thinking of right now, but I can't really think of too much of what I want to do. Um, One thing that I also wanted to talk about was so on the camera that I'm recording on right now. Right, so I bought this camera to kind of record my trip to Montana. So at the time, this was in 2017. So I do have videos on my camera that, you know, pertain to pretty much just what I wanted to talk about at that time. Well, I wanted to post them on YouTube, wanted to post them out, but I never really got to. I didn't feel I needed to because it wasn't that interesting. I didn't really go out and use it too much. The only time I would use the camera is when I was alone in one of the rooms, or I just got done working out, and so I pulled out the camera and said, "Hey, it's me, it's Josh, I'm here." There's a recent video that I posted where I pretty much shaved everything. Right, I shaved off the beard that I had, which was growing pretty long, and then I also pretty much buzz cut my hair. I was pretty much bald, or I was bald, basically. I looked like my dad a lot, but in a recent video that I posted, it was with my buddy Sean, and all we really did was we did like a milk challenge. I really enjoyed it. We had fun doing it. We went and bought those half gallons of chocolate milk, really cold. We sat down for a little before we did it. Made sure this is what we're gonna do it. Went outside to the back. There was a truck parked in the alleyway. Don't know what they were doing, but when I put up the camera, they took off. And I don't know what that was about. Um, but we did our little challenge. We threw up everywhere. It's on my channel if y'all want to take a look at it. But what I was talking about Montana, I really didn't do much there. There wasn't. I worked the night shift, right? So I couldn't really do much with everybody else that worked the day shift. They would all go to Canada. They'd have fun. They eat sushi. They did whatever. But I was pretty much there, just kind of just doing that. I'd sleep all day, right? Then I'd go to work, and the shift that I was on, or or not the shift that I was on, but the late night shift that I would always get grouped with, because there's always like an A card, B card. Oh, if I didn't mention, I do apologize. I worked for a prison. So the prison had like an A card, B card, or whatever, and they were always short staffed, which was the main reason why I went to Montana. Well, the main reason why I went to Montana was the prison that was down here in Texas shut down. It shut down. I went to Montana to work, kept my same pay, got paid per diem, whatever. And when I went up there to work, they were always short staffed, and so I was always working. Um, we do have those chances to turn them down, but it's extra money, so we went ahead and a lot of us would work. And would get like a little gold star. In my eyes, I saw it as a gold star. It's just a small little token of recognition, which wasn't nothing, and honestly. But yeah, I do have those videos that I do want to post to YouTube here very soon. But it isn't much, honestly. It's me in the car. It's me going to the gym. It's me working out. Me getting out of a sauna room, whatever. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about was games, right? So I want to do more stuff that has to deal with games. Why? I mean, why not? It's a difficult process because a lot of it's easier to do records on a computer than it is to do it on a system. Because with the system, you gotta have those El Gato or El Gato cards or whatever. And I have one of those, but it was always a pain to try and get those to work, like to get it running perfectly the way I want it. So I think what I'm gonna start doing is start doing my own little gaming on my own and on the computer, so that way, it's just much simpler, much easy. And then when it comes to the system, I'll just stream, like do Twitch or YouTube streaming. I did want to talk about the prison system though, because here recently, for some reason, I've been getting it's not like it's hinting, like I'm being hinted a lot, but it keeps coming up. The prison system. When I worked at a prison, and I worked at the one in Montana, I saw how inmates could be very manipulative, right? But I understood all that. It wasn't that I was, letting them catch me off guard or anything. It's more of I let them do pretty much what they wanted. Nothing illegal, of course. But I would let them, like, I don't know how to explain it. Not let them do what they want, but there was more freedom with me because I wasn't as strict, right? Like, a lot of them, they would cover up their windows with, like, their rags or their blankets or something so that way the light doesn't come in. I understand that. If I was in prison, like even here at my house, when I would, or at the, what do you call it? It's not apartment. I really forgot what it's called. Hotel. At the hotel, yeah. You won't believe how long that took me to try and figure out what the name was. But hotel. So when I would do, night shift at the hotel, or night shift at the prison, but come back to, to the hotel during the day, I was always just trying to cover up the blinds, the lights, and use what I could, So I understood that. I understood that they just want to cover and then they would cover their doors, which I know, of course, that you can't have the doors covered, but it's understandable, right? So a lot of the times they had to have their doors open a little bit. So if their door was covered, I had to open the door. But sometimes, you would knock just to make sure that they're not doing something that they're not supposed to, or you would knock just for respect, right? So you'd knock and just to make sure that they're not, using the restroom or something. Even if they said, I'm using the restroom, I still have to open it, look, and then, I'm like, oh, yeah, all right, yeah, you're doing your business. But there were lots of times where I never saw what happened because a lot of them would do tattoo guns. I never saw drugs. I'm sure it was there. Never saw it myself. But I would see ink, tattoo guns, and I remember one time when I was sitting up in the control room. This is the control room where you have view of all the pods. You can see who comes in, who comes out. You're the one opening the door for them. They push a button and, you pretty much get to them to see what they want. There was a point in time where I was listening in on one of the pods and you could hear a buzzing sound. Okay, well, that's a motor. The little motor that they use for radios, use for whatever. And then I think it was a lieutenant that came in and he also overheard the buzzing. And so he wanted to stay there while I go and check it out. But he said, don't go check it out through the cell door. Go around, go outside to go see what they're doing. I don't know how I found the right, window of what cell I needed to look through. But I ended up seeing what they were doing. I saw them tattooing and I didn't say anything. But I just looked in. And then I walked away, spoke on my radio. Hey, yeah, I hear them talking. I hear them. I see them tattooing. And so somebody went, got them. Got written up to whatever. So they were caught. They got caught tattooing. So that was one of the craziest things that I've seen when I was in prison. But what keeps getting hinted to me is like prison shows, and then there's another dude on YouTube called Larry Lawton or Lord Lawton, or how do you say his last name? Lawton. Where he talks about all the stuff that he did and all the stuff that he would say. I remember seeing myself. Now, I never saw, I saw fights, of course. I've had to break up some fights, and I never got to use the CO2 spray. Thankfully, I never had to. The fights would break up, pretty much almost instantly once they were towed. But no stabbings, no fights. We always made sure to check and hoped that there were no, shanks or anything, or knives. But yeah, it's. I wanted just to bring up how crazy it was that I would see that stuff. So I know I mentioned it in one of the other podcasts, or what I want to call a podcast, that I've always wanted to do voice acting. Now I know you probably can't see it here, but I have a book that's called How to Stop Acting. The book is mainly in order to voice act, in order to act, you don't act. I haven't officially read all of it yet, but I haven't read any of it, I should say. But I have another book here that's voice acting for dummies. Something that I haven't read that either, but I just wanted to get into. Sorry, just making sure that the echo was off. But it's something that I've always wanted to do. Ever since I found out that, cartoons had actual people voicing those, it's just something that I've always had a passion for. I did want to talk about a couple of the pets that I've used to have. So, growing up, I've had lots of pets. Lots of them, or I should say all of them, really were pretty much free. Every pet that I've had was free. Of course, having to take them to the vet and all that stuff isn't free, but that comes with taking care of pets and buying them food and whatever. But as far as attaining the animal, attaining that companion, that was always free. One of the pets that I lost recently was my favorite dog, Reese's. Right, so my dog was half pit bull, half weenie, but the dog leaned more to the weenie side, so it had the body of a weenie, but the snout or facial features of a pit bull and the paws and stuff. Really, really, I would say that a beautiful dog. People always thought the dog was ugly, but I saw the dog as my own little child, and went with me wherever I went. And so one day when I was getting very close to obtaining my house, the house that I live in now, it was probably, I would say, a month before I got the house, my dog ended up getting ran over. Right, so I remember telling my mom, she was kind of worried and scared, oh, you're gonna be there alone. And I was like, well, I'm not really gonna be there alone. I'll have my dog, and then I'll have my cat, because I also have a cat too. That was given to me when I was working for the insurance company. Her name is Gaia. She's a white, one brown, one blue-eyed cat. Beautiful cat. But my dog ended up getting ran over by the city, by a dump truck, right? And I'm kind of not fans of them because they ran over my dog, didn't say a word. And then just the other day, actually, I had some trash in the front so that they can pick up. Well, they picked it up, but a bag fell out and they just left it there. So that kind of pissed me off. I'm like, hey, you see the trash, you're picking up trash, you're driving by, pick the shit up. But yeah. So I'm not really fans of the city as it goes for the trash. Or the trash people that drive, but whatever. Something recently that I'm trying to do is trying to work, right? So I recently quit my job. I got terminated, I guess you could say, because I just stopped calling in. Stopped, it just pretty much went rogue, And what I've been trying to do for the past 2 weeks is work, right? So yeah, I've actually been out of a job since November. So money and bills are actually piling up quite a bit. But I'm trying to start roofing, right? And Texas, kind of out of nowhere, just decides to want to snow and wants to rain every day. So and my uncle, he owns his own job or his own little company for roofing. And so I've been trying to do that for the past 2 weeks. But every time I've tried to work, it's gonna rain, and it ended up snowing too. And I thought that was kind of a coincidence. And I kind of feel like maybe it's like a sign or something. Maybe something's telling me, hey, don't go roofing, not work, but don't do this job. There's something there for you, and this isn't it. I don't know, but it may honestly, it's probably just a coincidence, but that's what's on my mind. That I'm thinking maybe there is something out there. It's a sign telling me not to do roofing. Although I am very, very low on income, and so I just need money right now to try and pay my bills. One major thing too is my weight, right? So when I was in Montana in 2017, it has been a little bit of a while. I wasn't too heavy, right? So I was about 200 and I would say 20, maybe 15, 215, 220, and right now I'm up on the higher side, which is about 270, 275. And it really hits hard. Like, after I see this video, I'm gonna know that, oh my gosh, I am really chunky. I'm even losing my breath while I'm talking, because I'm having to, but either way, I know that my weight is an issue, and I am trying to get that situated. So I do have a treadmill that I just bought, and I'm going to start doing that more and more often. And hopefully I stick to it and start eating healthy. But as of right now, and I know the roofing job is actually going to help me a lot, because it's going to be doing bundles, taking them up, or not taking them down, but taking them up, and, just being in the heat all day. And so I'm going to be sweating, drinking lots of water. And it is also going to depend on what I'm eating. Hopefully I'm not going to be drinking lots of Coke. No burgers or burritos. I'm going to try and make a lot of chicken and some salad and just try and do that all day. I did want to talk about also my mic. I'm really interested in the mic that I have right now. So I'm sorry if you hear squeaking. That's my chair. But the mic that I have is, I think, really cool. Because there's like a button on here. Or it's not a button, it's a dial. And I can turn it up, and my volume will go up, right? And I can turn it down, and my volume goes down. I usually keep it more on the higher side, because when I listen to one of my other videos, you could pretty much barely hear me. But what I like about this is that there is a mute, but there's also an echo, right? So right now I just turned up the echo. The echo should be pretty high. Just wanted to show you this echo real quick. I think that echo's pretty cool. I did want to try and start making more podcasts and more videos that had to deal with podcasts. I know in this video I'm kind of going everywhere. I did write down a couple of things where just like pinpoints of what I feel like talking about or what's on my mind. Things that I don't really talk to people about. I just kind of wanted to put those out. A lot of things I'm kind of skipping over, like COVID, for instance. Everybody's going through COVID. I don't really want to talk about that. Phones, I don't know why I put phones. I just, I got a giant phone right here. It's not really giant. It's the Galaxy S9 Samsung. It's just the case. The case is a battery case. And so it's huge. I like it because I play a lot of mobile games, and so that's what the case is for. I also put debt. Debt, I say, because without having a job right now, and my mom helping me out quite a bit, and I'm really thankful for it. But she offered to give me some money. She's offered to buy a couple things off of me so that way I can make money. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just open up another credit card and just try and use that. So that way I'm not getting money from her. I'm still paying my bills. And then when I start getting paid, I can pay those debts off, But that's why I kind of really want these podcasts and these videos to start working. This is something different that I haven't tried, or I have tried it, right? I did a podcast with my cousin where we did a video, and then we had a little mic where we could talk. You could hear both of us. I think it looked pretty good. It's just the video was kind of far away, and nobody's really moving it around, and we're just in one spot. Really, honestly, that's probably all I really want to talk about today. I'm gonna see how this video goes. I'm gonna try and render and edit it all the parts where I'm kind of just sitting there thinking of what that the name hotel was. That's really it. If y'all are watching, I really appreciate it. I know my buddy Sean always watches my videos. I really appreciate you watching these videos, man. Here's an offer too, man. If you want to do these podcasts, I'm down. Here's my cat that I was telling you about. If I can grab her. See, this is my little cat. She's got 2 different colored eyes. She's a beautiful little girl. This girl, she had babies. Yeah, she's annoying, and she opened my door and I had it closed and she won't stop meowing. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about right now. I don't know if my head is cut off anywhere. Hopefully it's not and you're able to see everything that I was doing. But I just want to say thank you for watching. Sean, if you want to do this podcast, I do appreciate you watching these videos all the way too. Hey, I do appreciate you watching all these videos too. Thank you. You have a great night.